Okay, so I'm talking to you about OH&S in the music industry. Um, okay, so whether it's you performing, setting up for a performance, stage crew, in the studio, um, anything you do in the music industry always has an OH&S risk. A lot of them involve trips over cables and furniture that's in the way. So when you're setting up your instruments or setting up a gig and there's like cables and stuff like that, make sure that you either have a duct tape or gaffer tape or something, join them all together or stick them down somewhere where they're not in the way, to avoid tripping over. Same with instruments, you want to place them somewhere that's, a bit hard to get and not messy. You want to make a really a lot of space, especially on stage. So to avoid those things like trips. Another thing is electrocution. So it's easy to forget that one because you pretty much deal with like electricity on a day-to-day basis anyway. So um, make sure when you're plugging in instruments, plugging out instruments, anything, just make sure it's always off and your hands are dry, um, to avoid that. And there's always signs as well, anywhere there's like electrical things. So just read the signs, and it's just your kind of basic knowledge of it. It's just common sense. Um, Another thing is your hearing. So a lot of people forget this one, especially musicians, because we like to hear stuff really loud. And when you get excited, whatever, you put the volume up, especially in your earphones, and it sounds good, but it can also do a lot of damage for your hearing. So you got to watch out for that. If you can, put it through speakers instead of your earphones. I know it's not the same, but in the end, it's going to help you out heaps more. Um, so yeah, just watch the volume. Sometimes you can set limits of volumes and lock it in, so it won't go past that. Um, yeah, just watch the hearing, like watch how loud you are playing things, because you can definitely get serious injury from that. You can start getting a bit deaf. So that's another one to look out for. And another another common one is RSI, which is repetitive strain injury. So that happens when with any instrument that you have, if you're constantly practicing without breaks and without warming up before stretching, for guitar players, stretching your fingers, it seems kind of strange, but you're actually doing good and you won't hurt yourself if you do this before, between breaks, after. Stretch the body parts, stretch your whole body, stretch your back, your neck, your shoulders, your legs, for drummers, your voice for singers. Singers can get nodules from overuse, constantly using their voice, because that's their instrument, and they do damage to the vocal cords. So that's another one that's very, very important, because musicians tend to get taken away by constant practice and forget about taking care of themselves as well. So it's good, but you need to have breaks and stretch. Um, so pretty much it's pretty much common sense. Just look out, read signs. Um, you know, Heavy lifting. Always ask for help. Um, and you should be fine. You should be fine, and with all that, you could do some good.